clashes with local residents there. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio admits that in his ideal world, local government would control all land and buildings in the city. He cites his, quote, socialistic impulse. Look who's here to comment on that. Edwin Feulner, founder of the Heritage Foundation. Ed, you've been fighting this your entire life. What do you make of this?
Oh, Stuart, I can't believe it.
Yes,
I remember when I was in Moscow and the government controlled every single square block, and the way they did it was not very, very good. You remember what Moscow used to look like? De Blasio is just, he's just flipped out. He's going to give these big subsidies to Amazon, and then he's going to say, hey, you have no property rights? It's crazy.
But it seems to me, Ed, that we've come to this, where the mayor of the biggest and perhaps the most important city in the nation is a socialist who wants to take over land and buildings. I mean, it's come to this. That's what I'm taking away from his statement.
Absolutely, and you wonder what's really going on, going back, Stuart, to some basics. What's going on with our educational system that people who believe in that sort of thing don't look at current examples like Venezuela, like Cuba, to see why socialism doesn't work, let alone looking back and seeing what happened in Moscow and in Eastern Europe back in the 50, 60 years that the communists were in charge. It doesn't work. The market does work. It goes for the highest and best use of any piece of property. And why de Blasio doesn't understand this, I don't really know.
But you know, Ed, that capitalism and the market is just not fair. You know that.
That's what they say. But capitalism and the market means basically two people come together and both people decide it's in their interest to make a transaction. So if I'm buying a carton of eggs at Safeway, I'm willing to buy it, Safeway's willing to sell it, we're both happy. On the other hand, if the government comes along and nationalizes all the chicken farms, I'll be darned if I'll be able to find any eggs anywhere.
That's very true. What's that? The little chicken and the hen and the egg and the bread? And I forgot. Okay. I know that you want to talk about the deficit, and I know that you want Congress to address the deficit. And I know that you worry about a debt bomb. But, Ed, you know as well as I do, Congress is not going to address the debt bomb or the deficit.
It's very, very hard to come up with a real plan. I'm very proud that the president came up with the 5% cuts. I hope that that's going to be enough, because the problem is the spending side. The problem's not the revenue side. Revenue for the feds keeps going up. But boy, when we get back to slightly higher interest rates and the cumulative interest every year on the debt starts going up, people are going to really start to understand what's going on with the federal budget, I hope. Now, on the positive side, I guess, the Republicans will probably make a big issue out of this because they can't do anything about it right now in the House.
That's very true. Yeah.
But boy, they've been ignoring it for the last 2 years, much to our own chagrin across the conservative spectrum.
Ed Feulner, it's always a pleasure having you on the show, and thanks for being with us today. Very important day. Thank you, Ed Feulner.
Happy Thanksgiving, Stuart.
And to you too, sir. Thank you.